There's two of these, I think he called them U-cup seals inside of this, and then one wiper on the outside. The wiper was definitely bad. Now I have to kind of like massage this in here. I don't think I can show you this on camera because I can barely even see it myself. All right, so progress is being made on this thing. As you can see, I got the hydraulic ram reinstalled where it belongs, and I got the hoses run. The way these things were in here wasn't really all that great. Previously, one of these hoses was rubbing on the other one, and they were both rubbing on the frame of this disc, and it was causing some light damage and some scuffing to the rubber hose. And what kills hydraulic hoses, for those that don't know, is that outside rubber coating gets broken down by something or other, and then it exposes the steel braid on the inside. Eventually that starts to rust, it weakens, it deteriorates, and then the hose blows. So what I did is I took some electrical tape, repaired the scuffing in the places where it was rubbed down to the steel bits, but the steel bits were fully intact, so I'm okay with using the hose. And to prevent future damage, I've gotten some of this nylon hose covering. This stuff is awesome. I put it on pretty much everything that I work on. It's not very expensive. I don't want to quote you guys wrong because I don't remember exactly what it costs off the top of my head, but it really doesn't cost very much money. And once you have that, it works to prevent things like abrasion, and it also keeps that rubber coating out of the sun and out of the weather, thus prolonging its life. I really think this stuff pays for itself, and it can save you from some breakdowns as well. So I got that on there. It's ready to roll, and I guess it's pretty much the end of the day now. I've been actually painting stuff for like most of the day out in front of the shop there. So I guess first thing tomorrow, we got to deal with these hubs, and hopefully that goes pretty well and they're not too extra belligerent. All right, so I was out of town for probably 10 days, but now we're back to working on this. The local Napa store is where it was recommended to me to go and pick up these seals. They had to order them. These are a little bit of a different design. As you can see, they seal on the outside of the seal instead of on the inside of the seal, which is kind of weird, but you know, whatever. We got those, and we got some brand new bearings, and I guess we got to figure out how all this goes back together and then pull apart the second hub, which I've actually not even messed with yet. We got to pull this apart and do these ones as well. I want to get this out of my shop because it's been in here for like, you know, 2-3 weeks at this point. To be fair, I was out of state for most of that time, but it feels like it's just been sitting here forever. So let's try to get this out of here. The other thing is I've picked up a whole nother property to farm this year. So this thing might actually be going back into the field a lot sooner than we expected. All right, so the larger of the two, I believe, are these. For future reference, I might find this video someday. These are the PBR5 bearings. All right, now this is a trick that I learned from Mechanic Steve. Where's my old bearings? This is a trick that I learned from Mechanic Steve. When it comes time to put in a new bearing like this, you know, we really have to press this down into that groove. What we do is we take the old bearing, because we don't want to be crushing on a new one. We take the old one and a shop rag to protect everything. And we lay this in here like such. And now when we hammer on this, the new race is protected from the old bearing, but we're not going to be hammering on it because I have a press. That's it. Man, I love this press. All right, so I've had to take this disc in and out of here, and I just pulled it back in. So the wheels have ridden probably 100 yards and they've not fallen off yet. I will say, in typical fashion, everything is just as complicated and as difficult as it could possibly be, specifically on this side, where the problem is that there's a grease zerk on these hubs. There's one on each hub, and the one on this side does not clear this wheel. Because this wheel, this rim, is different than the rim on the other side, and I had not noticed that until I was like, hey, why won't this thing fit up over that grease zerk? But then it wouldn't, so I blocked off that hole. I took an old grease zerk and I ground it down, I filled it with epoxy and put it in as a plug. Should work. The last people just didn't do that. They simply took out the grease zerk, and then a bunch of rainwater and stuff got in here, so that's one reason why we had to go through and redo all this. But it should be fine now. And I know some people will be like, oh, Chucky 2009, you know, putting brand new tires on a disc hero, that just costs too much money. No, it doesn't. I'll tell you what costs too much money. What costs too much money is buying used tires for $30 to $50 a piece and then having them explode on my way out to fields. I've already blown 2 tires on this year, and I just decided I was done messing around. It was worth a couple $100 and change for the new ones. And now they're on here and they should be good for quite a while. Now, on a related note, these are light truck tires. Evidently, they're preferred by a lot of people over implement tires. You're not supposed to put car tires on farm machinery because they're not made for the weight and they're not as tough as light truck tires. And so I'm told these will last a lot longer than implement tires. I can believe it. I mean, I don't know, I guess we're gonna find out, but this is my first time going straight to truck tires as opposed to implement tires, like these ribbed ones. And I found this out after I ordered these. These are going on the field roller. I'm starting to assemble some parts for it, and that's actually what the steel in that box is for as well.